Natalia was going to be my TV girlfriend, but I don't know anymore.
What does that mean, Pat?
Well, that's what you look at the person and you're like, you know what? If I wasn't with my wife, that would be my girlfriend.
Oh, how romantic!
Your TV girlfriend.
Yeah. She was gonna be,
but I don't think so anymore.
Oh, what
She's
a loss
too
for
judgy.
her. Yeah, yeah.
So
God,
anyway.
what a heartbreaking story. Welcome aboard. Another brand spanking new episode of Another Below Deck What is it? It's Another Below Deck podcast. It's just they're sailing, Med and Reg and all
I felt like
stuff.
you've unnecessarily changed the titles when we do something
sometimes.
on Patreon. It's Another Below Deck podcast.
And the pot's really messing with me right now. But we cover Below Deck and all of its iterations.
Reg, Med, Sailing, Down Under, and the soon-to-come adventure.
And I would like to talk about Down Under really quickly. PSA. I'm Dylan. Saddle up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's hoy mateys?
Pat,
Permission
there's
to
the
come aboard.
podcast of the producer over there. So, we were going to have Pizza Rat on tonight.
Ryan.
And we recorded our Below Deck Down Under stuff so long ago, I don't even really recall
Your hatred for him.
Yes, and the atrocities he committed and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm going to slap on the last episode and just give a listen to, what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And
Of Down Under.
Of Down
that we
Under,
recorded 3 months ago.
Right, exactly. And I got to say, I was at a pretty dark place back then.
Yeah.
The show was making me upset because I still adamantly believe it is a really poorly cast season or iteration of the
Captain's
show.
hot.
Hot captain, but it just was nowhere near enough to save it. I said some horrific things about Pizza Rat. And listen, I'm pretty sure we're arch enemies. We'll talk to him. I don't think that we'll, shake hands or anything. But, I said that his father's happy he's in heaven because Ryan's not there. That's a yucky thing to say to somebody.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy what the
unbelievable.
The cloak of a paywall will allow you to say.
Yeah.
But then you bust it out later. And I will say, I even cleaned it up a bit on all our parts. But if you do want to check out that uncensored one, go to patreon.com/Another Podcast Network, where the entire season of Down Under is already available. Plus some extra minutes of horrific stuff we all said.
Really? That's so funny.
Hey, can I do a PSA?
Yeah, of course.
Hey, Bravo. Go fuck yourself. We're done working with you. You guys are a bunch of liars and hacks over there. All you did was play games with us.
Yeah.
We're going rogue now.
Yeah.
We don't need to be tethered to you. Thanks for all the screeners or whatever. And thanks for not sending them after we had an interview with
The
Rach.
screeners were nice for like 6 weeks, and then they started to kind of drop the ball because remember, it's just like fucking USC grads working at Bravo sending out screeners in the PR department,
Yeah.
They're just people too.
Yeah,
But we're done because
Keep going after him.
Well, we don't need to talk to freaking whoever you want to chuck up at us and abide to these rules. You can't ask them this. Get out of here, Bravo. We're done with you.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk to all the castmates that have been on the show. Don't believe their bullshit. They dangle that fucking carrot on you. Hey, you can't talk to the Another Below Deck podcast guys because we were thinking we want you on next season, but if you don't play the game,
it's all lies.
They lie to you. And by the way, you should be able to monetize. They exploited your ass on a TV show.
Yeah.
You should get to go out and be on what podcast you want, and some girl named whatever in New York can't tell you can't do it.
Your countenance is all you got. You got to protect your image, and you got to strike while the iron's hot. You know how you do that? Don't listen to Bravo. If you're good enough, they'll get you back on.
Exactly. So cast members that want to be on the show, hit Nick up and say you want to be on the show. I don't even care if you're on the current season. Fuck Bravo. They're not there to help you. They're there to exploit you, and they're not allowing you to monetize yourself.
Boom.
So at least they can fucking do it, these greedy bastards. So Bravo, see ya.
They're Simon Cowell. They're signing these tweens to terrible contracts where they own all their IP in perpetuity. It's not right. Fuck Bravo. Nick, go ahead.
And if I think you can sense our wrath, Bravo, if we get to sit down with Andy Cohen, we can break some bread and figure this all out.
We can work it out easily.
But that's
maybe a couple episodes of Galley Talk.
Yeah.
We can work things out. But until then, this is my stance. Fuck you.
all three of us. Andy, we're available for espresso martinis at Pump whenever you're available.
Yeah.
But until then, it's on.
We can go to Dan Tana's too if you can get us in because I can't get us in. Okay, I'm not going to hand a maitre d' of $500 and then wait for 30 minutes to go eat chicken parm. But if you can get us in, Andy, we're there.
And if business goes well and we're ready to hit the town after, I would do acid with you and Anderson Cooper.
So we have a show to get into, and it was a hell of an episode. Before we talk about it,
we got to do our thoughts and knots.
Specifics of it, we do have to talk about thoughts and pots. Pat.
Okay. First off, I thought it was a great episode. I had a lot of fun. It had all the fun, like, drama. I thought it was really going to work out when...
Sorry, real quick, PSA.
Yeah.
You know, people have been inquiring about some of the isms of the podcast.
What's that mean?
You know, pots, knots, stuff like that. Like, what's the origin of that? People have been asking.
No clue.
No idea. And even if there was an origin, like... the sense that it would make, you know, it's just word association in a room, you know, that it's not, and I don't know why I had to interrupt you to say that, but I needed to get that off my chest.
Sure. And I don't know why I have to say this, but I just got to. It started because we did general thoughts when we covered the Bachelor, our first podcast.
There we go.
And then we just started making nautical puns with everything we talked about.
Right,
so we did thoughts and knots, nautical. Yeah. But then it actually got switched somehow, the spelling to knot, like you would tie a knot on a boat, which also applies and is still a pun. Right. And then you started doing the reviews and you started to give pots for the food reviews. Right. And then we just started to like throw it and we'll just rhyme shit.
I told you it was going to be unsatisfying and forget. Hey, I'm sorry to you. I'm sorry to you. And I'm sorry to everybody listening.
Okay, I'm going to continue now.
Yeah, please.
All right, so I did not foresee the drama with Natalia with her buddy Kyle. That was cray-cray.
Oh, wow. Cray-cray, yeah.
I didn't anticipate Natalia's, she dropped Storm, it felt like a bad habit.
One night of drinking, you know.
Yeah.
At the end, I was just rooting for everybody. Well, please just go to sleep. Just put your head on the pillow.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
Natalia was going to be my TV girlfriend, but I don't know anymore.
What does that fucking mean, Pat?
Well, that's what you look at the person and you're like, you know what? If I wasn't with my wife, that would be my girlfriend.
Oh, how romantic.
TV girlfriend.
Yeah. She was going to be.
But I don't think so anymore.
Oh, what a loss
too
for
judgy.
her. Yeah. Yeah.
So
God,
anyway.
What a fucking heartbreaking story.
Just the drama between
that could have been.
Dave and Natasha. God, I'm just having fun on this show. I think we're like 9 episodes in or something.
Right.
By the way, you guys are great together. I didn't watch last week's episode.
No, thanks.
I just listened to the podcast of you guys covering it. It got me up to speed.
Oh, because you were in Lemonster. Right.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks for what you guys do. All right, 100
that was
pots.
Really nice. That was really nice.
I'm going to go next if you don't mind.
I don't.
I was angry with the Ryan season. I apologize already for it. Go to Patreon if you want to hear it. I was upset because the show was, again, not a good version of the show.
Oh.
This, I couldn't be happier. I mean, we had a lull last week or 2 weeks ago, but I mean, we're firing on all 6, 7, 8 cylinders now. You know, the show is just so well cast. The characters are so fun. Natalia and Kyle, even when they fight with each other, I love
playful.
them. I love them.
It's like brother-sister relationship.
Yeah.
For a minute there, I thought he was straight, you know?
So much to chew on with the food this evening. Can't wait to get into it. Can't wait to get into it. And once again, we have to talk about the shoddy engineering of this vessel. I mean, it's just unbelievable that this thing was legally allowed to get out there.
It's not seaworthy. It could kill people at some point. Not to get
seaworthy.
Sandy announced to everybody on the boat this thing could roll. Okay. And the solution is to open doors.
No. Keep the doors closed.
Oh, right.
It's like Qvivic, which is a new sleep drug, wherein it's advertised by Lindsey Vonn, by the way, and you might wake up in the middle of the night and do activities, quote unquote, that you, quote unquote, don't remember. You know, how did those things get out to market? Anyways, 100 pots. Great episode.
Nice.
We'll get into it later, but when Sandy said close the doors because the air conditioning was on, I felt like I was back in Wisconsin in 12, and my grandma's like, close the goddamn screen door or I'm not cooling the outside.
Yeah, I felt like I was back in Hub's trailer. That's what I felt like.
A solution to any problem that might kill you should not be the same solution to someone taking a shit.
I so agree with you. I so agree with you.
Except again, he's thinking of keep the door. Oh no, close the door.
Yeah,
you close the door.
Right.
Yeah, I thought you were saying open the door, but that would just waft
but
into
how many
others.
do you give it?
I give it a bunch because I liked it for a number of reasons, including the relationship stuff between Storm and Natalia. But Pat, I'll pick up your scraps because she's now my TV girlfriend. I like how she handled it, and I think Storm needs to shut the fuck up about work.
Yeah, we're out. We're out, Storm.
Though I agree with them, it scares me when someone says something like anything worth doing is worth overdoing. That'll scare someone off. I love the episode though, and that was pretty specific of me, and I apologize. 92 knots.
Yeah, you did get pretty specific there, but forgiven. Can Kyle be my TV boyfriend?
Yeah, of course. It's mine too. I'd hang out with him.
We got to fight.
Mine's Joey.
Okay, so episode kicks off where we last were. Very dramatic stuff here. We didn't know if we were going to sink or swim. And as bad as, to jog memory, we bumped into a dolphin or a pizza. As bad as Fifth Element was, is Storm possibly worse? Because, he's easier to understand, but he can't operate a walkie-talkie. It's truly unbelievable stuff.
Oh, that was my bad. That's a teachable moment, Dylan.
Hey, don't get ahead of yourself.
Oh, sorry.
God.
I would agree. I think at this point, he might be worse because I would say just their reason for being there is to not hit the Dolphins. They both hit the Dolphins.
Right.
What makes Storm worse is that he was trying. He was giving 100% effort.
Right.
Reagan was hungover and possibly napping.
Yeah, she was on the verge of throwing up because of the hangover and the nicotine withdrawal. So Kyle is going to be on housekeeping for the day because of the quote-unquote mouth period he is experiencing. We're starting to see some cracks in the foundation of this wonderful family that is Interior. Natalia is wondering where the fuck Kyle is, but more on that in a little bit. Storm is called up to the bridge. He says, I know what I did wrong. I didn't know how to use a walkie-talkie that I've been using for a couple of days. Were you guys as confused about this as I am?
First, I thought he didn't put new batteries in there. I don't know who that was on, But her saying that it was a teachable moment because she didn't tell him how to use it. I see you guys in every episode use these fucking things.
Well, and it's a given, right? Like I was trying to find a good comparison, and I don't think I did, but I'll give it a shot. Like if a cook serves like a raw dish, and the chef's like, what happened? He's like, well, I didn't turn the burner on. He's like, that's fine. I didn't teach you that you needed to turn that knob. I mean, what is going on here? She says you got to push and then say things into it. That's not a teachable moment.
I was like, I didn't have a lot of confidence where you're going with that analogy, and you really brought that home. That's very similar, and really puts into stark light how
bad this was.
How bad that was.
But it was a teachable moment. Sandy she's Siddhartha aboard home. I mean, it's unbelievable how zen she is.
It reminded me of the Always Sunny in Philadelphia when Mac, they had walkie-talkies because they broke into someone's house to steal something. The group gang, they're always getting in shenanigans.
Yeah, that's right.
But he did the opposite. He would hold it on too long because he would finish, and then he'd go, and they let go, and they go, and they're like, you don't have to do the sound. And he's like, okay, got it.
I think that's from
Stealing Harvard?
No.
Oh, I think they do something similar.
Saving Silverman.
In Saving Silverman?
Yeah, they do the exact thing.
I said Stealing Harvard because I almost said that at first because there is a funny walkie-talkie scene in that with Tom Green and Jason, whatever his name is. He's like, I want to be Steve.
Mac and the gang steal intellectual property. So Sandy has hit two things, but this is a teachable moment, like we said, and he is provisional after all. Pat, can I get a meanwhile?
Meanwhile?
Captain Sandy has faith in Courtney. Natasha is love sick again, texting her boyfriend. Really just sick in the head, but we'll get there. And then we get to our favorites. Natalia is really laying into Kyle. Hope you enjoyed your 2-day vacation. You're only getting a quarter of the tip. Did you read that out of your little comeback book last night? I mean, my God, I love these two.
But see,
it turned ugly pretty quick, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of like us.
But so recoverable.
She honestly would kill it with us because
totally.
Because when we're fighting, it does start with like kind of just these more comments that just get aggressively
and then
progressively more aggressive.
Then the yelling starts.
But we don't need to tell them how the sausage is made because we have this fight to cover, right?
Yeah. But I didn't like.
What are you guys doing?
They've had fun banter. They've been taking digs at each other, but like at an arbitrary moment, Kyle breaks and he's like, no, stop it. It's like, you got to be in or out.
Well, I mean, he has an infection in his teeth, Nick. He's in a lot of pain. He said it feels like he's getting hit in the face by a boxer. And you know what? I bet it's fucking chitin. I bet he's chewing on chitin.
You're going to keep that going through all the episodes.
Well, it's important to warn people.
And it's important to let them know how they can find out what Dylan is talking about. Go check out our other free show, Another Podcast show.
Yeah.
Hey, I was going to say,
we talk about the dangers of bug exoskeletons, and you might think, oh, that doesn't sound that crazy, but it is. It is.
I was fascinated by it. I can't believe this C-Rat disagreement is over who gets to live in the laundry room, if you really break it down. It's the most C-Rat thing ever. Because she won't leave the laundry room, and he just wants to live down there.
They essentially had like a polite off at them. She's like, I'm trying to help you, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get the digs. I didn't get where the fight started, except that he was being a little softy. He was being a soft service queen. That's his turn.
Well, listen, I love this fight, and then we've got fucking Dave to come out and say,
hey, call it down.
You know.
The guests are around.
Yeah, it's a fucking hall monitor, man. Let them, turn those cappuccinos into projectiles for all we care.
Yeah, take the heat off you, Dave. You look like a complete pussy last night.
Okay.
I thought it was really interesting how he just seized the moment to take the high ground. If he would have said this to me, I would have been like, shut the fuck up. Why don't you text someone else they're a slut, you idiot? Get out of here. You creep. You're lucky you're not fired. I'll yell all I want.
Loser.
Cook the fucking food.
All right, so Courtney is crushing it. She's hopping in the water, and the guests say that she looks like a mermaid. Mm-hmm. Mermaids have fishtails, and they have shells on their boob. She looks nothing like a mermaid. Also, they're so proficient at swimming that they would never, ever need a life vest. The one, like Courtney's got on. It's just ridiculous.
Mermaids don't wear life vests.
They don't. The guests hop on a banana boat, and have themselves a time.
It's water toy time.
Yeah. Now, fans have heard me say before that it's the only time I've ever been concussed. So while it is a good time, you do have a chance of getting knocked out cold and having your torso dragged through the water until everybody can scream to the driver to stop the boat. It's just a small chance of it happening, but it can happen.
We got to take a break from probably Natasha and Dave's toxic relationship and talk about one of our favorite sponsors, hands down, one of our favorite sponsors.
I bet.
Green Chef.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
And what is Green Chef? Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company.
Yep.
Green Chef makes eating well easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, specifically my keto lifestyle. That's why I've been loving it so much.
Yeah, and others if you want.
We've talked about how gluten can be weaponized. Well, when it's not weaponized with the keto Green Chef meal. I mean, I'm not going to disparage the other meals.
There's no chitin in keto.
Okay, so get this. Last night I'm watching Below Deck, and I said, wow, she's beautiful. The wife says, are you talking about Natalia? I said, yeah, that's my TV girlfriend, right?
Right.
And so she says, you know what? I'm pissed at you. So I thought I was going to fight with her. Wife wasn't going to talk to me anymore. A box of Green Chef showed up today. We cooked it together. We were like the movie Ghost. I'm working around my wife, Cherie, like when they're working with the clay. We're cutting up all the stuff. It's romantic. It helps a relationship. Sign up for it. Look, if you sign up for it just because it's an amazing product, but if you're having problems with your marriage, order Green Chef. You'll do it together.
You know what's so amazing about Green Chef?
Yeah.
That it has time-saving recipes packed with fresh produce and vibrant flavors that help you make the most of those long summer days. And also, it's the #1 meal kit for eating well with dinners that work for you, not the other way around. Also,
that's exactly what Pat was saying.
Exactly. And
like
also, Green Chef, with Green Chef, you're reducing your food waste by at least 25%. I mean, I'm throwing out so much stuff if I don't have Green Chef. Guys, listen. Go to greenchef.com/belowdeck135 and use code belowdeck135 to get $130 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free again. That is greenchef.com/belowdeck135 and use code belowdeck135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free. Green Chef, it's the #1 meal kit for eating well. Now, a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Pat.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm going to ask Nick this question.
Okay.
Nick, how well would you take care of your car? If you had to keep the same one your entire life, how well would you take care of that car? Don't even answer. That's how our brains work.
No, I'm
so why don't we
going
treat them
forward really well?
Right.
In the past, not so well. And I think if you want to
a tree fell on your car last time.
I think I guess that wasn't me, but I didn't take care of it. But if you
parked it there next to a tree that was rotting.
Yeah. And you were welcoming Murphy's Law into your life at that point with that car specifically.
I'm not arguing that I treated my car well.
Right.
The tree falling on my car.
And we told you not to get it either. It's like an Alfa Romeo. Like people can't work on that car. People like don't know what that is. It's like it's a dumb investment.
But
a tree fell on it.
I'm getting another Alfa Romeo in December that I'm paying for in cash, and I will love it and I will take care of it. I didn't take care of my cars before.
Right.
Just like I didn't take care of my mental health before.
Right.
But now, to continue the analogy, I'm going to take care of the car that I'm going to get in December.
Yeah.
Just have an Alfa Romeo.
Right.
Take care of, just like I do my mental health going forward with Betterhelp.
Betterhelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat only therapy sessions, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
On that night, it was the night of the Super Bowl 2020, 600 trees were cleaned up from the city of Los Angeles. It was the biggest windstorm we've had in decades.
Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/belowdeck. And just in case you didn't hear that, because there's no way you could have, our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/belowdeck. That is BETTERHELP.com/belowdeck. Love you. Take care of your brain.
Meanwhile, Natasha's texting the guy that she loves, her boyfriend, who I guess she lived with and shares dog. Like they were more closer than they really.
I think Natasha is 1,300 years old, and she has been married, engaged many, many times over. Yeah. It's like an elf, but like a waste of immortality.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This ain't her first rodeo.
Yeah.
Anyway, she does all this texting inches away from Dave. And then meanwhile, also, Kyle continues to complain about that fucking tooth. Hey, you're not Tom Hanks in Castaway, Kyle. Take an Advil. If not, I'm pretty sure we can get you an ice skate.
Right. Well, Dave is cooking up something, and so is Natasha. Like you said, she's texting this guy, and she's doing it right in front of Dave. Demon. She says he's going to be so upset if he finds out. He's just so unpredictable. I mean, that's a contradiction, you know? It's a oxymoronic thing to say. And also, what you're doing is, again, demonic. You know, you said yourself he's going to be so upset if he finds out. Then you voluntarily told him. But, you know, again, with these two, there are intricacies because he's hovering. And if she did it to stop him hovering, I'm totally fine with it.
So what you're describing, are you familiar with the term succubus?
Oh, yeah.
But like the actual lore of it's a earth wanderer who seeks victims by disguising herself as a young, beautiful woman seducing men.
Right.
And yeah, she's been here eons doing this to poor saps like Dave, who are otherwise very talented individuals.
Yeah, but they do have a weakness in them, and if she can see it and exploit it, then, you know, it's on them too.
I learned from of a succubus from South Park, who a succubus she seduced Chef. Coincidentally enough.
Now, can I say something about Natasha? Hey Natasha, if you're listening, we know we've made funny and shit all over you. We know that this is typical human behavior. Everybody has one of these things, you know.
I mean,
she's not evil, you know. She's being a bad person, right now.
We've a couple things. We've already clarified that she's not human, right? And also, it's not human being stuff. It's sea rat stuff. So you know, we're accustomed to it, but it's not quite, you know, the norm.
I just hope she's not getting fall into a depression over getting beat up online. You know.
Totally. Yeah. Totally.
It was interesting because on WWHL, when she was helping dish the 411 with Andy in his clubhouse, she was talking about how she actually never said, "Let's screw." On Bravo television, going against the editing, which I thought was interesting.
Wow.
She said when they were in the bathroom, they didn't bang. She said that's the only.
Oh, then she's still with the boyfriend. That's what that means.
I thought
I was wondering if she was still with that guy.
Because my theory was that she was with the boyfriend the entire time, and I actually saw a TikTok about some inside scoops about Below Deck, and the bathroom is the only place they can't film unless two cast members go in together. So for her to say that's the only place we could have privacy and we didn't actually bang in there, I find to be a lie, and I like Pat's theory. So she said a lot of stuff that made it seem not as bad, and Jason Gaskell, who was also on there.
Oh, my God.
He said that he was on Natasha's side 100%, and they didn't show some of the stuff we didn't see. But for what we have
Hide? He was on her side?
100%.
Okay. You said hide.
My bad, because I'm trying to wrap it up.
No, I hear you.
The Nick knows too much.
Yeah.
And then... But I initially thought she was just doing bad things. But when she told the story about traversing the ocean after being engaged and breaking up, I started to believe Dylan, and I think she's a succubus.
She's eternal. She's eternal and dark.
I just want to put it out there. We're not monsters that are just haters. We understand the complexities of human behavior.
And I hope she's doing well now and taking care of her mental health.
Yeah.
Wish her nothing but the best.
Right.
Okay. Are we bullies?
No. I wish her nothing but the best as she exists on Earth.
It's an impressive conquest. I mean, we don't get to root for, eternal demons that often. You got to do it when you can,
Exactly.
Anyway, so the wind is picking up. It's Courtney's time to step up, okay? She has to get a jet ski on a crane in choppy waters. And last time this happened, she headbutted that crane. But this time, she nails it. She's just a badass. She's got a great attitude. What?
Oh, I thought you
No, she succeeds in her task. I think she's got a great attitude, great addition to this cast. Says daddy a lot, which is sad, but she's just as lovely as a sea rat can be, I really have nothing bad to say about her.
I did like the flashback from last season, how she was like, oh, I understand, like, the interior needing help, and she asked a couple deckhands, and they built the crib, and it was like an entire season of saying daddy all came full circle, because she was finally like, you guys are daddies. What a comedic genius she was to play that long game, to get that punchline.
No, she's really, really special. So once again, the fickle, dare I say, criminally negligent design of this vessel is on display. If the doors are not closed, the stabilizers begin to fail. I'm beginning to feel like this ship is held together by rubber bands and Bubblicious. I'm just very, very worried about the crew and the guests and the stars of the show, the engineers.
My family and I, if we were offered a free ticket on this boat home, we ain't taking it. This is dangerous.
Yeah.
It's really funny how you can have two different perspectives on things, because the people who operate or put it and sold this boat and built it, they call them stabilizers unless you have the air conditioning on. Right. I call them destabilizers unless the air conditioning is off, which I think is the much more important aspect of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I stand by that.
Yeah.
So Dave heads up to Tosh and checks to see if she's okay after the 7.0 earthquake that the boat suffered. Dave, you gotta stop.
Hey, personal story.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
And you're making us sick. You're making us sick when you do this.
Yeah, and a twinge of needy. All right, so in 2001, I'm dating this girl named Lebanese Lana, and it was hot and heavy for a year and a half, but we grew apart. I was in a band. I'm like touring every weekend, and she always give me crap for that. So this final time I do it, I come home. All she's doing is fucking letting me have it for 3 days straight. So I leave her apartment, and I said, I'm sleeping in my own bed at my apartment tonight.
Yeah.
Get this. It wasn't even like a real breakup. We just didn't follow up with each other next day. Before you know, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 days. We never have the it's over breakup. That night I left. We never talked again.
Wow.
That was May 2001.
Oh, wow.
9/11 happens. One of her parents lives in New York.
Okay.
And everyone's got to check on everybody. I emailed her and I said, Lana, is your family okay?
Yeah.
And she responded, yes, they are okay. And I wasn't reaching out because I cared about her father. He was such an asshole.
Right.
I just wanted to hear, maybe hear her voice or have her. I just wanted to reach out.
Yeah.
But that's
So
what we want to do
Dave-
after we break up with someone. You want to sometimes just touch base.
Right.
Exact opposite of what Dave's doing is, I guess, my point.
Well, I think the reason why you and Lebanese Lana kind of fell out is probably because you were cheating on her.
No, she demanded sex every night. I can't do that, dude.
Well, Patrick, did you have a TV girlfriend at the time?
Yeah, I did.
So
It's incredible, though.
It was Judge Amy.
Right.
But it's so interesting that your sex-starved girlfriend, who you couldn't muster up the juice is enough to
Not every night.
have sex. You still cheated on her.
I know.
Yeah.
I never cheated on
No,
Lana.
you
Oh,
did. Did
oh,
you?
I thought that was
who's
part of the
Judge
story.
Amy? Who's Judge Amy?
She played
Was she
a
your
judge on
TV girlfriend in
Yeah,
May
TV
2001?
girlfriend. Yeah, I never.
So,
Lana would beat my ass if I cheated on
all
her.
right. So
I'm sorry, the way
it's
he
just
said
not
it.
getting through.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Dave
Meanwhile.
doesn't know what he's going to cook. It's 4:00. Please figure that out. Kyle's teeth's hurt, and Courtney
Got
makes
that ice skate, buddy.
phallic jokes and has great vibes. So, Studio 54 is on the menu again. 2 episodes in 1 week. Housewives at patreon.com. But before we get there, hey, it's time to talk about Magic Mind. What is Magic Mind? I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
No, you go.
A magical daily elixir that'll help you start knocking stuff off your to-do list.
Check.
Rather than
Check.
seeing it grow.
What does it have? 12 natural ingredients. What are they? Not going to list all of them, but one of them's matcha.
And
So
one of them's echinacea and ashwagandha.
So go to magicmind.co, enter in promo code Sandy for 20% off your order and free shipping. Guys, take Magic Mind. You'll throw people's cars at them, right?
Or well, I did it once. It hurt that guy.
Okay.
Because of the magic mind you drank, which is also green.
Well, guy
like the-
fucked with me,
Okay.
and I picked my car up and I threw it at him.
It won't make you hurt people, but you could have the potential to hurt people. This is the ad. If we're going to be loosey-goosey, let's get loosey-goosey with it.
Sure. There's that movie about that kid that turns into Superman, but evil Superman. Now, when you drink Magic
What's
Mind,
that called?
I don't remember, but when you drink Magic Mind, you will have that inert superpower in you. Now, because of Magic Mind, you will choose the path of light 99% of the time. But Pat is in that dark 1%, and he threw a car at a guy.
It didn't hurt him.
So just be...
Another great selling point is that it makes your nanny so smart that they will then quit and get $1 million homes. So if you do have Magic Mind in your home, you have to lock it up, but make sure they haven't already snuck some, because then they will pretend that they don't know what it is, and then you'll lock it up, and then with their fucking Hulk strength, we can swear on this one.
Yeah.
Their Hulk strength, they'll rip the lock off, take the rest of the Magic Mind, and they'll still end up not being your nanny in their $1 million home, and you'll be stuck without a nanny. But then you'll take Magic Mind, you'll learn how to get a nanny. MagicMind.co, promo code
Sandy.
Oh, and so what you guys got to do, this will be a fun thing. Dylan will critique you. Buy the Magic Mind and then post a video of you lifting some heavy stuff that you shouldn't be lifting, and we'll talk about it on the
And
show.
I'll be the one that critiques it?
Yeah, I'm pretty
I'm going to do that next week.
Go to magicmind.co. Love you, bye. Hey, you know what time it is?
Time to talk about a sponsor.
Oh, sex toys.
It's time to get sexy, okay? We have to talk about Dame. Now, we've voiced some concerns about the product before, ushering in the singularity, but we've talked to the people at Dame and broke bread and had a really productive meeting, actually. They assured us that they're only trying to get people's rocks off. And that's exactly what's going to happen.
I know.
Yeah.
I know it may
if
sound
you
like
get Dame.
I know it may sound like from what Dylan just said that the executives at Dame bribed us to say that robots aren't going to take over, but that's not what happened. They
No.
assured us that the robots aren't going to take over.
That would be incorrect subtext that you pulled from that. Pat,
It's time to get sexy.
How-
This isn't sexy.
how
That's
has
smart.
Dame been helping you and Sheree?
It's fun. My wife has trouble having an orgasm. The second I got these Dame products, boom, it's every time. And you know what? She's more fucking chill. That's what you want.
Can I say something though? It sounded
Yeah.
a little misogynistic. I feel like you have trouble giving your wife an orgasm.
I'm not hurt by that.
I don't
not
think
hurt
you
by
should
that.
be. I think she should be hurt by the way.
I'm
you
a
first
selfish
raised her.
lover.
Yeah, don't be embarrassed that your penis is one of the reasons why robots are going to take over this
Right.
planet.
Because
know?
you don't have to use your penis or hands.
Look,
Right.
I just want my wife satisfied. And let me tell you something. The
Yeah.
second I started getting shipments of these products from Dame, happy wife, happy life, dude. I think I make more money now because I wake up in the morning earlier.
Yeah.
And
She's
don't get
satisfied.
hounded by your wife.
Hey, is she using the Eva, the Air, or the massage oils? It's a rhetorical question. Stop making that goddamn noise. I hope that's not a curse word, but listen, the Air is incredible. It sucks gently around the hood. It's unbelievable technology, okay? Go
Have
to...
you- Have you ever like left a t-shirt on the ground and accidentally rolled the vacuum over it?
Right.
That's what's happening.
100%.
Hey,
and then you pull it out and it's just
Okay, don't...
all right, hold on. Before we end this ad, because I know we got to wrap it up with a promo code and whatnot. I support all our sponsors, but I really support Dame.
Go to DameProducts.com. Use promo code BelowDeck to get 15% off your first order. Again, that's DameProducts.com. Use promo code BelowDeck to get 15% off your first order. Let's get back to the show. We've got more deck stuff. Not my fave. Storm says that he hates failure, and I don't want to be a dick, but I mean, C-Rad is kind of, I don't know. It's a little inherent. It's almost like their modus operandi, Again, I mean, I shouldn't be mean anymore. I gotta read.
You get paid to be mean, dude.
I gotta read this book on Buddhism and figure out how to.
Is that Siddhartha?
No.
Herman Jess? What is that? I don't know who wrote that.
So they dock at night. There's intense music. It's M. Night Shyamalan. They dock at night. I mean, it's just not my favorite part of the show. Sandy exclaims proudly, "Excellent job. We didn't hit anything." Nice. And speaking of failure, if you set the bar low enough, you literally cannot fail, you know? So we get ready for dinner, and Kyle is down. He's in tears because of his teeth. But fear not, Dave is there to help. He steps in and says, "I can help you out however you guys need." Dave, stop. It's not going to happen. You're making us sick, man. So speaking of nausea, let's read a text from Natasha to her ex-boyfriend. She says, "You're such an amazing person," the guy she cheated on. "Keep being you and don't let me change you." And that sounds like a thinly veiled threat from a fucking succubus. If you ask me, perhaps even toying with its prey. Please. I'm warning you what I'm going to do. I am telegraphing this. Make it more difficult for me. So, meanwhile, Court is once again being pulled into the deck team. Into interior. Kyle is getting checked on by Captain Sandy, and once again, Courtney is put on service over Natalia. Ooh-wee, what's up with that? I don't get it.
Natalia needs to sleep because she's taking all Kyle's shifts, I think, right?
Last week it was some fakakta, Natalia knows where all the cleaning supplies are. I don't like it. Let's move on to dinner.
Wasn't it opposite this week? Natalia is being put on in laundry when she wanted to be on service last week, but now she's being put in laundry because
she should be on service. Kyle is down.
Oh, so she's going on service because he wants to be in laundry because his tooth hurts.
Oh, did we mention?
No.
Didn't he go see a doctor at this point in the episode? I feel like I'm doing a bad job.
Yeah, we're doing a bad job, but no. Kyle is out. He's
Kyle's
down.
out.
He's laying. So Courtney steps in, and Natasha says, "Courtney, do service for the second night in a row." It's not right. It's bad woman management.
Here's where I got confused. There were kind of two dust-ups early with Natalia and Kyle. One was playful, one got real. I didn't know we covered the real one, but we kind of did it all in one. He's at the hospital now, and this is why I wanted to talk.
No, he is not.
He's out. He's just laying down.
Yes.
I'm back. I'm never peeing again.
So dinner is served, and this is yummy. This is yummy.
What is it?
Not the food. Looks like killed again octopus, but my God, more pathetic stuff from Dave. So, as they're bringing the plates up, Natasha says the food looks amazing. He says you look amazing. Dave, you gotta stop.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm retching right now. You've gotta stop. And now we get to the part where I'm fully about to throw up. He says that the dish is called Morning Glory and that it's inspired. Its inspo is Natasha herself. I mean, there's just so many fucking pathetic and weird things about this. The name of the dish is just insane. Is Morning Glory when you wake up with a hard-on?
No, I think it's when you have sex with someone.
Morning Glory?
I think so.
There are flowers called Morning Glories that climb lattice. My grandma loved them. We'd get them every year.
But
watching them
I
grow
guess,
was one of the true joys of my childhood.
This goes to my point. I mean, it's just a very, very convoluted, confusing name. Why is it inspired by Natasha? It just doesn't make any sense. Oh, and also it's octopus. So what are we talking about?
Well, he should have said, "This dish is named Tosh, inspired by my ex-girlfriend, and if you'll notice, it smells very fishy."
Why did you have to do that? I know you're trying to help me, but I mean, my God, man.
He should be more angry. Stop kissing her ass.
Kyle heads out to the hospital. Natalia is stressed, but his face feels like he's taking a punch from a professional boxer.
Look, take some Advil. I like Kyle. He's one of my favorite people on the show, but dude, you're not Tom Hanks on the beach of Castaways. I mean, there's Advil, there's medication.
Well, he has an infected tooth.
Take some Advil, it's fine.
They had to pull his teeth. It was very, very serious.
I've lived with the same pain he had for a year one time.
Okay. So
I'm sorry, I had a work deadline. I didn't know what you were asking me about, but I'm glad you attempted to, because yes, I was disgusted by this. And you know who would even be more disgusted? Bigger Favre. This man has to leave work and leave his teammates because he has to go to the doctor for a toothache. Pain is letting your body know that you are in danger. If you can just mentally understand that, oh, my tooth isn't going to kill me, you should be able to push through, especially when you're leaving other people in the line of fire.
Yeah.
Step up,
and
Kyle.
Totally
They
also
teach you that in the Navy SEALs, you know?
Yeah, and also this isn't the Navy SEALs. So if you're in chronic pain and it's really distracting, say you need to go to the doctor, maybe lay down, go to the hospital, get some medicine.
Don't
That's just
tough it
me,
up.
though. We're not a monolith.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you gotta.
I have this fucking open wound. I need to go to the hospital. Fucking work through it.
Because you're putting other people in a precarious position for your little bit of pain. That's definitely you can.
Big
work
Irv would
through.
be disappointed. So, wrapping up pots,
You crawl off
dessert
that field.
is served. Dessert was a real Usual Suspects type twist.
Oh, I loved it.
The dessert was there the
The
whole
entire
time. False apple. Now that is a name for a dish. That is a name for a dish. Not morning glory. Not morning glory, okay? It is ganache covered apple with a banana and caramel core. Now, listen, this is a lovely idea, but this needs to be half the size, okay? Nothing short of a fresh out of the crate POW can get this much fucking chocolate fudge down. I mean, there's no way half of these, like anyone consumed more than half of this dish.
Well, it wasn't about that, Dylan.
It
It's
just
about
looked-
taking a photo.
Well, and also inventive, green effort, you know. We don't see that often.
Well, you pointed out at the top of the dessert thing, I love how it was sitting there before their eyes and no one was asking about it. And then where's our fucking dessert? You've been staring at it the entire time.
Honest to God, it shouldn't be understated. That's 11 Madison Park shit. Like, you walk out and the holder of the napkins that has been there the entire time, although there would never be a napkin holder at 11 Madison Park, but you get what I'm saying. The table is the cake. 56 pots. All right, let's talk about Natasha's lovely relationship history. In the most shocking
Jesus
moment of the
Christ.
season, we learned that Natasha was engaged to someone on a boat. She got bored with him, you know, as you do with engagements, then broke off said engagement while they had a month left living in the same room. This woman has something inside of her that is very, very scary.
Quick personal story. How long have we been going?
Too long.
I'll keep it under 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. 1999. I'm dating Caroline. We date for about a year. I'm sick of her. I don't want to
Okay.
hold on. Anyway.
All right.
We already planned a trip back to Massachusetts for my buddy Sebastian's wedding on New Year's Eve 2000. How narcissistic is that to have your wedding on that? And this is the guy from Kitchen Nightmares, by the way.
Right.
Anyway, a month before that, we already have our plane tickets. I said, I'm breaking up with you. I don't want to be with you anymore. And I said, so I'm going to pay for your plane ticket that you bought to come back to Massachusetts to stay with me. She said, no, I'm going.
Right.
Fuck.
Right.
So she came back with me. We flew there, stayed with my parents. She slept in my parents' bed. I slept on the couch for the entire week, went to the wedding. I'm broken up with this girl. I hated it the entire time.
Yeah. Did you guys make love?
Never.
Oh, really?
I was done.
Interesting.
Wanted to get with Lana.
Pat.
I just made that up.
Pat, you're being gross.
I made that up.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
Okay.
That's exactly
so
why I
C-Rat
wrote
history. Z used to book travel. I made it up. You said that twice, sincerely, earnestly, with that kind of cadence. I made it up like that? You said that like that? Holy shit. Like, we haven't been doing this for a while? Fuck, man.
Hey, how about that Club 64 part?
No, so C-Rat history. Z used to book travel and do dishes, so he likes structure. Bravo. Don't do this unless you have something, okay? Don't tell us about Z doing the dishes and that.
I like the guy,
ingraining
bad
in him
casting.
structure. I mean, come on, man.
I've said it before. There's a problem with hardworking and competent on one of these TV shows.
Boring.
And only because Z basically had his dust up with Lexi last season and a kind of never would happen relationship with Courtney did he get screen time, and they brought him back because he's likable.
Yeah.
But yeah, they want to give him screen. What I don't even know what he said he just did. He cleaned dishes or something.
Well, I like Z because he is
nice.
well, and he's
A blackout drunk.
well, he's color.
Close.
I hesitate to say it, but he's color. He's a color character for the show. You know. God damn it.
I think he's a little bit of a Colin. Actually, he's the regular one. He's the regular one. He doesn't do as good of a job at like lending an ear and stirring stuff up, but he's like the regular one that can step back and be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, he's fine, but he's not, gonna drive the show. So Tosh brings the guests water, a sign to shut it the fuck down, and they do just that.
That party sucked. It didn't even need to be filmed. I know they had to because it was, what was it, Studio 54?
Yeah.
Bring in some male strippers. You got that little tender boat, some Bolivian shale. Now you got a party.
Well, Sandy's not okay with Bolivian shale on the boat, which is just such a bummer.
Next morning.
Well, before we get there,
yeah.
the two most lovable drunks aboard just talk about how they're going to fucking tear it up tomorrow. Storm and Natalia sit down for a cute little chat. He asks her to go on a date, and we get some real C-Rat stuff here. She's not comfortable with this at all. She just wants to get drunk and not do this. She is guarded, and she has been cheated on. And she may very, very well be a saboteur of love. It's a sad thing. I want Natasha to not be so leery.
Yeah, she's too guarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be the right guy. She needs a challenge, I think, too. I think she wants...
Storm's too nice.
Natalia, she wants to chase.
Oh, did I say that?
It's easy,
tough.
but
Yeah, they're twins. So let's get to the next day.
Next day.
Jason can't say diamond, and he's weirding the other two out. They're just a little, I don't know. I don't want to be mean, but they're different than him.
To be honest, he's only weirding them out because they're the majority. I think Jason's pretty regular, and they're kind of nerdy, and like Storm and Z have known each other since they were 12.
Right.
Z and Courtney are like besties who hung out in Cape Town. Now all three of them are the Three Musketeers, and Jason used to trade soy futures in Indiana, and he doesn't know how to relate to these lifelong C-Rats.
And to be fair to him, like if Courtney was like, just a tip, I'd be like, Okay, so breakfast is served in the form of crepes, and then Natalia informs Tosh about the quick one she'll be having with Storm. Then we get to the guests departing. Now, Kyle heads back just in time for the money and does that shit that fun gay guys are allowed to do, just be overtly fucking weirdly sexual. It's just so bizarre.
He referred to himself as daddy.
He picks Natasha up, pretends to fuck her, and says, "Daddy's back, baby." It's unbelievable.
He did the same thing with Natalia later.
Yeah, it's so much. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but I mean, listen, anyone who thinks that the rainbow shouldn't get married needs to, take a long, hard look in the mirror. Jesus doesn't care. But can we calm it down with the picking up strange women and just pretending to fuck them and saying, I'm sorry, I'm excited to suck someone off?
In my book, Cracking the Code, I tell all the guys, chapter 4, location, 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 go to the Abbey. Pretend to be gay.
But that would be such a rug pulled out from under the women who were consenting to your overt sexual advances because they thought you were...
I'm gay, but, I could be turned.
That is so wrong. What a lie. All right. So,
another tip.
How'd we do?
20 grand. Seems middle of the road to me, but Sandy
that's
was really
a good
excited.
tip.
$1,800 each. That's a lot of cabbage.
Courtney is glad that the charter is over. She is ready to relax. And she says that she's not going to get as drunk as she used to, but she is going to let her hair down. And then she chuckles and says, well, I'm actually not sure. So let's buckle up for blackout. We get a little bit more history on C-Rat love here. It's all very messy and annoying, but I would tell Storm, this is where he says, like, I'm all about full throttle stuff. And I would just say, like, slow roll this, bud. She's worth it, and we ship you guys. Don't freak her out. Yeah. It's like trying to pet a stray fox.
Might bite you?
Well, you have to get on their plane. You have
Shoot
to...
them a little food, and
What? No, just be patient and loving.
Oh.
So, let's get to Dave and Natasha. Natasha voluntarily, kind of an understatement actually, like hedonistically more so, like this is a vice that she gets high off of, goes and tells him that she is seeing her ex again. Now, this is what I mentioned. He has been hovering, so maybe this is a little back the fuck up kind of thing. But again, both edges of this blade are laced with some type of toxin. You know, can someone please plant a fucking weed pen on both of these people and get them off the show?
Well,
it's
I hope it's a little bit of what would you call it for Dave, where at least now it's confirming what he kind of knew, because when he doesn't,
he's not picking up on any.
She said, "I'm back with my ex-boyfriend." You dummy.
Right, but he doesn't. He says, "What's wrong with you?" Or he says, "What are you doing?" He's not aghast that she's doing this to him.
Well, because he heard, for him now it's a competition to win her back from the boyfriend that he had.
Well, this is the mental castration.
It's stupid.
He's concerned about her still. She's like, I'm with another guy, and he is coming from a caring place, saying, don't do that, you weren't happy. The Shining type fucking, I mean, it's scary. Like, Dave, fucking get the picture, man.
I know. And also, honestly, what he should have done, which would probably have him seeing her tatas by episode 13, is no prob. I understand. No prob. And then just don't pay attention to her. 4 episodes from here, she'll be like, I kind of miss you. I'm telling you.
It's a flip. It's a switch that he needs to flip, but he's incapable of doing it.
He's incapable.
You just go to work. Snap your fingers. Enter into a parallel universe where you guys are co-workers, have fun, be professional, and who knows, maybe you can black out and fucking stare at her and she'll come into your bedroom. Who knows?
One
Jesus
last
Christ.
romp at
Yeah.
least.
So Tosh does confirm that she just wants to be left alone, and I don't blame her, but again, gross. Let's get to the night out. It's not going well. Storm is boring, and he's boring Natalia. He is thinking about work and telling her about work. Don't do that, man. We're off the boat, okay? Leave that shit in the past. We're sea rats. It's time to get drunk.
Here's where their relationship is, and I think Natalia finds this out in this episode. Dave's a perfectly nice person and will make a great partner for someone. I'm sorry, yeah, Storm. But they've only had short, bite-sized interactions, which is hot. Because you only see each other working, that's hot.
Yeah.
But when you have to sit down with each other, that's the love language. That's where you guys connect. And if you, you know, and it's too long of a movie. You know, it gets boring, and then you're like, I don't like this movie anymore. But I like those little reels on that Instagram thing,
Everybody put the phones down, okay? So, Mikhail cheers to Nat not being there. Be careful, he's gay Sauron. And then we head to the club/restaurant Surfside. And more Dave turning into a mopey fucking drunk. I mean, cannot do this for 15 more episodes. Just can't have this when we go outside, when we go out, okay? You know, Jason's a little awkward. He's not contributing to the night outness. The only problem I have with this season is they need to turn that shit the fuck up a little bit. We're just not going to get that, though. It's more of a relationship kind of season. Speaking of something that needs to stop, Storm is getting dominated by Natalia. He's killing the vibe, and he's talking about fucking work again, but also, Natalia, take it a little easy, okay? It's 2:15 in the morning. You're 9 shots deep. He's a wonderful, hairy gentleman. Just let him talk to his friend about work. I mean, come on.
Well, she keeps accusing him of being over-emotional. I believe that was said to him like 3 times from her.
Right.
Reminded me of another person that's in my life, my wife. Whenever I'm like doing something, she'll go, you're being over-emotional. I'll be like, hey, Cherie, that really hurt my feelings when you talked to me that this morning. And she'll go, what are you, a victim?
Yeah.
She does that to me.
Yeah, no.
What are you, a victim?
We've talked about it many times. She is mean.
Hey, Tucker Carlson, I have emotions. Or someone who victimhood. I don't think that was a good pull. Didn't fit the analogy. And I don't like having headphones on. I can't hear myself. And no one's laughing at what I say.
Well, so we get back to the boat, Dave, and when she says stop being over-emotional, if she could have just held off on that a little bit, she would have been accurate, because my gosh, these guys are just, they're head over heels. They're riddled with Cupid's arrows. I mean, they're not thinking straight. When Storm gets back to the boat, he is just destroyed. And Dave is in, again, full Shining mode. He's standing at the threshold of his room, just looking at everybody walking down the hallway. he was getting a decent edit in the first couple of weeks where his drunkenness like wasn't this weird. But tonight I realized that, like, I mean, just can you imagine being in that room with this guy who's just drunk and staring at everybody? You'd be like, oh God, I do not want to work with this guy for a couple more weeks.
Yeah, I get it. He, you know, I don't know if Bravo allows you to do this, but he should probably go out to a restaurant by himself instead of going out with this group, because he's a miserable bastard.
That's exactly what I was thinking when he was like, you got to separate from Natasha, even on the nights out. Go off on your own.
Go
like,
have a nice dinner by yourself.
Ski some mountains or something.
Go
Do something
skiing,
hardcore.
yeah, go skiing.
But
Catch a flight, go skiing, and come back.
What's interesting is that Jason, who's rooms with him now, the blackout drunk, and he's definitely seen it. He was the ire the first night,
right.
On WWHL, and he was also helping dish the 411 with
yeah.
Andy in his clubhouse.
Right.
He said he was asked, "Who on the boat would you never work with again?" And he said unequivocally Storm. He would never work on a boat with Storm again.
Well, he tells him to fuck off next week.
I can't wait to see what Storm does that makes him worse to work with than this blackout drunk who you're afraid might stab you in your sleep.
Well, we'll find out next week, because the Not Gate is going to happen, and more fun stuff from Bravo's Below Deck. Thank you so much for joining us. Go to patreon.com/Another Podcast Network for more content. Housewives, the entire season of Below Deck Down Under. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Leave kind 5 stars, 5 words. What? Also, join us on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit the likes. Comment. Watch the premieres. Help us out in any way that you can. We love you very much for listening. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Bye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.